WPEG Power 98, Charlotte's #1 for blazing hip hop and R&B. I'm Yasmin Young, and the star phone is ringing. Bring, bring, bring. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mo. How are you?
I'm great, and yourself?
Good. I'm wonderful. And for those of you who don't know, this is what you may know. She's Lil Mo. That's probably what you know her as. But you're going by Mo now, right?
Mo, Little Mo, Miss Mo, whatever. A lot of people say, like, Little Mo sounds too young because I've been in the game. This is going on my 11th year. They're like, yeah, you need to let that junk go. I'm like, child, you can't just let your name go. That's like Big Meech not being Big Meech.
Right,
you know
right,
what I mean?
right. But well, and you're small in stature too, though, so it kind of fits.
Yeah, I haven't grown an inch. Yeah.
All right. Well, new album. You just released a new album.
Yeah.
Tweet on it. Don Richards, Mano, Fat Man Scoop, and the lead single is "I Love Me." Where did that title come from?
Just basically an ode to myself that coming back in the game after like a 4-year hiatus since my last, I had put out a mixtape. Everybody thought it was an album, the Paint and Paper joint, because it came out on Koch. I was just like, yo, I got to put out some more music. But when you're an artist, you have to reassure yourself that your foundation that you started with is the same one that you're coming back with. And just letting everybody know, like, still the superwoman, still the girl next door. But I like to empower myself, like, before I even go out and start speaking to others. So a lot of people would think I was just coming back trying to be a gimmick or trying to keep up with everybody else that's out, because the industry has changed so much since Superwoman. You know, that came out in 2001. We in 2012. It's just like, wow. So the fact that people still remember it, still rock to it to this day, you know, I just want people to realize that I'm still the one that'll make you feel good about everything you do, but it don't make no sense if you feeling good and I don't feel good about myself. So I said, damn that, I love me.
Right.
I love me. And it's not a conceited, connotation. It's basically, just I just want everybody to be so inspired, so uplifted, so empowered, because there's so many people walking around depressed and just mentally ill, and just everybody says this new phrase, the other type of women is winning, and I'm just like, it doesn't have to be that way. If we strong, powerful women come to the forefront again, and just show people that you can be the greatest, you just got to do it, no matter what the case, and it starts with you.
And P.S. I Love Me, your 4th album. How have you been able to, like you said, so much has changed in the music industry from 2001 till now. How have you been able to maintain and put out 4 albums where a lot of people only get to put out one and that's it for their career?
Yeah, God bless them. What it is that when you are music, basically, you put your hand on the pulse of what's supposed to sound good. Believe it or not, a lot of people think that when I disappear from the scene that I'm gone and whatever happened, and I'm like, no, when I'm behind the scenes, that's when I'm doing the most of my plotting. A lot of people that you'll see that's on the charts, I've heard, know, or had to listen to their music before they came out. I was laughing with one of my friends the other day. I was like, the industry is something, because they used to send me like people's albums. Hey, listen to this. Tell me, can you write something for them? I used to get like John Legend's albums before they would like come out. I remember listening to like one of Jazz's songs. I was like, I can't write for her. Like, she's dope. Like, what the heck are you guys doing? I always get to listen to stuff before it even hits the streets, and a lot of people don't know that. Or like a lot of my friends on marketing and promotion, they be like, yo, what you think about this person? You think, like, I'm like, I mean, they look nice, but I don't really foresee it, because one thing I do like about the change, which it really hasn't changed, that's just an excuse they make because labels don't want to spend money like they used to in open budgets and credit card accounts, and they really have to count for all the things that they've done. They really never made that money back because they were really tricking off dollars.
Right.
But I was like, I always have to be the one that didn't become the excuse. So when they say, well, you have so-and-so budget, because I know how to budget, which I learned at home and in school, I'm like, okay, if you give me $10,000, to me, I would say it's fine. So I was one of the artists that always had a back end left off the budget when the album was done. And everybody said, like, you like the only person that got changed left. I said, yeah, man, that's the Scorpio in me. Like, we don't just spend all our money. You have to live as if it's 50% or 33% of what the actual total sum is, because you just never know what's going to happen. So the way I maintain is just budgeting and just being wise and just being around music. Like with this album, my husband and my in-house production crew, we produced it. I stayed listening to, I don't just listen to hip-hop and R&B. I listen to pop music. I listen to gospel a lot. My uncle actually lives in Charlotte. A lot of people don't know that. John P. Key is my uncle, so like he created a whole sound of music. So with that, I was just able to stay modern and just keep on changing with the sound of music. A lot of people, I don't like auto-tune. Like, you don't have to, but that's where music is going. A lot of people use it to morph their voice, but if you really understand what it was created for, you would really love it, and you don't realize how many people really use it to make their records sound clean and crisp, but yeah, that's just the technical side of things.
Right. Okay, well, yeah. and you said, you mentioned 2009 you got married, so congratulations on that.
It was actually 08. In 2009, okay. I had my third child, which was my son. He's about to be 3, so yeah, time is flying.
Okay, well, congratulations on the family. And actually on P.S. I Love Me, you have a song called number 11, Perfect Man. So describe your perfect man.
Well, the perfect man, he really doesn't live on this earth. He sits on high, he looks down low. His name is Jesus. Now,
go ahead, girl.
Don't make me start preaching up here, child. My voice too deep right now. Whew. But now the perfect man is just, a lot of people put so many things on men. And I always tell my women, and I tell my men, I say, y'all too hard on each other. You know, there's no such thing as perfect. But then you say, well, why is it a word? Perfect is when you love yourself enough to accept people for their flaws, and when they see yours, you realize that's the perfect combination, which is actually perfect chemistry. So the perfect man, he might be missing a tooth, but if y'all save y'all money together, you can buy a tooth. Like, I hate when I see girls turn out a good, I be like, that's a good dude. Yeah, but his tooth was broke. I'm like, yeah, but if my brother Fab walked in here, you'd be all up on him, and then I would have to fight them, because Emily's my girl. You know what I mean? It's always people have something to say, look at his shoes, girl. I was watching D-Ray Davis comedy show, like, people are really nitpicky. And I'm like, you could be missing out on your angel that is sent because of your insecurities. Like, his shoes, girl, and that might be the only pair of red bottoms you got, and he might have wore that to the club just to see if people's gonna like it for his money. He might own all the clubs in your area,
right? Exactly.
But because you're trying to be cute, you missed out on your blessing. Then you mad because then when you go out with them daggone bottomless shoes looking like socks in the club, he gets in a Bentley and you squoze in a daggone.
Right. You up in a...
I've seen it. A daggone, hey girl, you gonna have to take out a bobby pin and jump the battery. I've seen people hate on something and not realize. I've seen people hate on people. I'm like, yo, you do know his dad like owns mad oil wells, right? Like, that happens, and so you just gotta be careful.
And a lot of times the same people that are like, oh nah, he ain't this, he ain't that, they don't have a lot going on themselves.
No,
you know.
Child, they talk about, yeah, I'm up here with my red bottoms, slowly but surely when they walk around the club, paint left on the floor. I was like telling people, yo, if your shoes cost more than your mortgage, you pimping backwards. Like, certain things are just meant for certain, and I understand we want to keep up, but you got to realize that the reason there was an economic depression, or what do they call it, the recession, is because people were overspending out of their boundaries. And child, I sing, but at the end of the day, I really like read the news and stuff, and I said, wow, there's so many people that don't love themselves enough to realize why they're in the rut they're in, and I so want to help. Like, so I'm so like hitting the streets with this movement and this mission of getting people out of every form of depression, recession, oppression that they're putting on their self, because no one can do to you what you don't allow.
Exactly.
That's the way God has it. So it's like, yo, if I could just help people mentally get out of that stuck situation, then we could.
And you took some time and you worked radio. Now you've stepped out of, okay, I'm just an artist. Are you looking maybe to the future into doing motivational speaking and reaching out and branching out along those lines? Yeah, of course. That's what I do. Like, sometimes now, like, I do a lot of, I would say, motivational speaking, because sometimes I get so hyped. People like, I thought you was preaching. I'm like, nah, because sometimes I get so excited. But you feel it, though. You feel that like, passion is in you. Yeah, because a lot of people don't expect that from me. They think I'm going to get up there and be like, Al, put your hands. And I'm like, yeah, we say Al, but there's a time and a place for all of that. And a lot of people will realize that I'm probably one of the most motivational people out here. That's the way I grew up. My dad's ex-military, so everything we did was like, if we're going to be a team, everything was team and family and, you know, just scared straight and everything. So that's what I love to get into, because there's a lot of people who don't have anyone to tell them. You never know what situation people are going home to or what they're coming out of. So you have to
there's so many gaps that need to be bridged that you don't want to burn, that I'm just like, well, I know I can't save everybody, but daggone, I'm going to get out here and try. So just that little bit of time you get to speak to people, you know, that might mean the world to somebody. You would not realize how many people just like, how many emails I'll get, or people that be like, yo, this song spoke to me. I've had people come up to me because in my shows are really, my live shows aren't, a lot of people think I get up there, sing my songs, and sit my hips down. No, my shows are really, I'm asking my husband, does he think it's like the way we have it structured, it's almost like motivational speaking with performance, with church, with hip-hop and R&B, with comedy. It's really like a show that's like on the road. Because you'll be like, oh my God, like I totally didn't expect that.
Right.
And I've had a lot of men come up to me. It was like, a man came to me after my show, and that's when I knew the calling that was on my life. Recently, did a show in New York, and after the show, because I was talking about that, there's a lot of people, you know, basically in situations, you're trying to get out, but you don't realize all you have to do is take the first step. It's literally that easy. Right. You know, and sometimes you might miss your walking away period trying to be so stagnant and fear. But today you got to, like, step out. So this guy came up to me, and he was just like, you know, he was in a situation. He said he came out tonight. He said he was going to go home and end his life. Oh, wow. He's like, but when I sang He's Able, that Dietrich Haddon, and like a lot of different artists, he was like, that right there, like, touched my life. And you just never know. Right. And I'm just like, yo, I could feel it when I get on stage, because I feel like you have, that's why sometimes I don't even perform. I just feel like, yo, I take a lot on me when you're up there. You're like so transparent, and you're so open to, oh my God, like I can feel what's going on in this room. But it be that one person that's what you came there for, and it makes singing, entertaining, and all this craziness in this business worth everything that you have to go through. Yep. Lil Mo, P.S. I Love You, or I Love Me, in stores now. What song off of the album would you pick that is the most personal to you? Wow. Oh, Jesus. I love the single I Love Me featuring Tweet, because Tweet's my girl, and just the delivery on the record. And a lot of people, like, they totally didn't expect that from me. They said, oh, I thought you were going to have some in the club. I said, Chad, I got kids. Right. I don't really be in the club like that. Plus, as I mentioned earlier, my flat feet, so I really don't get to really party like that besides birthdays and, you know, special things. But I think my favorite song, Jesus, Love Song. Love Song, number 6. I don't really know the song, but it's just like, I don't want to be here no more. It's just like, a lot of people think, you ever see those shows where somebody's like, you know, I just want to give a shout out to the person who did this, and they miss it, and somebody think it's about to be them, and it be somebody else, and their face get crushed. Right. I'll be like, you thought this was going to be a love song, and it so could have been, but a lot of people miss their mark trying to be so high and mighty and think that they're helping you, but they're really hurting you. And sometimes when you take that step away from the situation and you learn to love yourself more, they really can't take the credit. I've seen people sit back and say, yeah, had it not been for me. I'm like, if you don't sit your hips down, you know, you can't take credit for me loving myself and me being happy. Nobody can. Nobody can, I was the one that helped you boost your self-esteem. Man, that self-esteem is the esteem of your damn self. Right. The word self is key in that. You know, people are crazy. Right. Man, I got to expose them. Lil Mo, P.S. I Love Me. And people can follow you on Twitter. I see you got a lot of followers. What's your Twitter name? Yeah, and it's stacking up. At The Lil Mo Show, TheLilMoshow. That's also my Facebook, and my website is thelilmoshow.com. So it's really hard to forget. You just got to make sure you spell it right, because a lot of people put the E on it. Okay. And that throw it all off. Right. No E. All right. And in the last, let's say 20 seconds, tell people why they should pick up this album, P.S. I Love Me. P.S. I Love Me, why you should get the album. Not only do I do it because everything is technologically savvy. Yes, I keep up with the times. And you can get it on my website, thelilmoshow.com. But if you want change, if you want a difference, if you want real singing, if sometimes you just want to have a alone time with yourself and you want to get to know who you are, I would say get this album. There's so many albums out there that do get you motivated to do crazy things, but sometimes you got to let the crazy go, and sometimes you got to realize you'll be going crazy if you keep on listening to half the raggedy music that you're tuning into. So if you want to just slow it down and you want to feel like you're at church but by yourself, make sure you get my album, P.S. I Love Me, because for real, it will really bless your life. You can act like really anybody. Nice. Lil Mo, thank you so much for calling.